What does every good adventure bike need besides an adventurous rider and a comfortable seat to sit on, a tank big enough to get you somewhere, right? It needs some luggage. So let's get this Mosko Moto Reckless 80 system unboxed, set up, and put on. And let me tell you about some of the challenges of sticking the Reckless 80. I don't think it was quite built for a dirt bike. The 40, Reckless 40, absolutely. Reckless 80 is a little big, but we can make it work. But if you're wondering, if you just want a quick hit, will the Reckless 80 fit on my dirt bike? The answer is, for the most part, yes. Yes, it will. And it looks pretty badass doing it too, I must say. But again, it's not without its challenges. It's a little large for an honest to goodness dirt bike. Alright, so we got a pannier. Tent pole pockets, Stinger 22, the dry bags that go inside the sheaths or the holsters. You get a little 20 liter dry bag. I suppose that's to put your clothes in to keep it double dry. In your system. Alright, so there's the centerpiece. Right, she goes on like a so. And then there's the other side. Heat shield. Stickers, love me some stickers. And then some hardware. So the next part of this is was a Harley. The next part of this is to put the sides on. Right, so we're going to do that. I don't know if you need to see that. And then we'll put everything on. We'll see how it fits on the bike. And more importantly, and the reason I bought this system as opposed to a lot of other ones is Mosko Moto has these little pockets in the bottom that they say can hold 2 Primus or MSR fuel bottles. I want to see what else fits in there, because to me that's a lot of wasted space. If you have two round bottles going in this pocket, why not some container that fills the whole thing up? And again, right, I've got 3 gallons of gas on board, and that's enough for smaller rides or rides that don't include a ton of off-road. But Rabbit Valley, right, out and back and cruising around, I put 75 miles on the bike. If I'd have had just a 2-gallon tank with a 100-mile range, I'd have been pretty nervous by the time I got back to the truck. And if I'd gone any further than just driving back to my camp, I'd have been really kind of screwed. So let's see how much. Let's play a game of what can we fit, or what will fit in the fuel bottle pocket. Alright, let's put this stuff together. Alright, you've got the centerpiece, you've got the panniers on each side. Right now I have the back facing me. The bike would go this way. I see these have little flaps so that when you put your T-nuts in, to these little guys right here, see these in a second. Right, this will cover it so that they're not exposed and poking into your shit. Alright, so again, your panniers on the bottom, this is on the top, and holding them together is going to be a bolt and a washer. They include Loctite, right, a little tiny tube of it, which is awesome. So I'm going to use my Loctite and save their Loctite for, I don't know, I'll throw it in my kit. And then this nut goes on the bottom. You see it's got spikes on it. That'll hang on to the fabric so it won't twist. So it's going to look something like this. There we go. So there are the bolts. And on the bottom side, under this flap, there are your T-nuts. Alright, now to the other side. And I must have got the Walmart version here because I was missing a washer. So instead of 10 black washers, I got 9 black washers. But that's okay. Had a fender washer. About the same size. That's alright. Alright, all assembled. Go gadget. Huh. A little fat. So I have the Skaggs rack on the back of mine. Alright, well there, first impressions are, looks like it's going to fit nice, but you know, that's just my first impression. So apparently step one is, we're going to open this up. Okay, open up the beaver tail, and then these 3 straps have to get restrung out these holes so that that loop goes around the back of the rack. Now if you don't have a rack, well then you're kind of screwed. Now I guess you could figure out how to hang it on the back of your tail light assembly here. I'm sure that would work, but I have the Skaggs rack, so that's what I'm going to strap it to. So run that out the back, right? Open all these guys up. And those out the back. Put this in. The next part is these guys are going to go through here. This is going to go through here, here, And then the idea behind these bars is that these are not necessarily sewn directly into something. So if you rip one of these off and you're kind of wondering how am I going to reattach my bag, because they're not sewn, right, you could just take a loop of something and run it underneath this bar. Kind of cool. Part 2 of this. Alright, so the back's on. Now this loop comes out of the bottom pannier, and that's on one of those bars as well. And this guy needs to get attached to something. It's looking like it's going to come way up here, which I gotta tell you I'm not a huge fan of, but there you go. Then that gets looped up. Alright, so that's, I put it on here. That one's on. Now let's go look at the other side. Right. Pull the strap out of the bottom. Cam buckle, not that thing. And that'll probably go so we're still centered up. That's a little weird looking. Got a little bit of a wind tunnel effect going on right there. I'm wondering if that doesn't flatten out once these things soften up and start to bend a little bit. The other thing is, see how far forward they're cranked, right? This is trying to pull that forward instead of letting it hang down where it wants, but there's, without moving that farther forward on the seat. Alright, we got some adjusting to do. We got the 3 dry bags that come with it. And you hear the sides. Little window, I guess, so you can see if your stuff is falling out or not. I don't know. To me, that's a little chunk of gimmicky goodness, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure they have a good reason for putting this kind of wimpy piece of plastic in this otherwise pretty solid design. Let's see if I can figure out how these go in. She goes in like this, and you see this little strap goes out the bottom of your pannier, so you can, in theory, reach up here and pull it in. There we go, there's one. You see I have a red sleeping bag in that one. Check inside. There's 2. And the nose just gets shoved back up inside. Open up the beaver tail, which has this nice little documents pocket, which is also detachable. Right, so I could pull it off and put it up here. Another little bunch of pockets on the other side of the beaver tail. I didn't strap these down yet. We'll do that next. And then here's your other dry bag, the Stinger 22, which actually, if you open this up, there's straps in here, right, that come out, and this becomes a backpack. got some good tie down points. Another one of those nice little clear spots. Put a picture of your wife in there, right? Thank her for letting you do all this stupid shit, spend all this money. And that gets velcroed in here. All right, that goes in there. First part, and then there's a strap on the back side that goes on there. So I was looking at the Reckless 40 for a dirt bike, and that's probably a better size, right? But as I'm watching the video of these guys going out and doing their adventure riding, I notice a lot of times they mention they'll split up gear, like you carry the food, and you know, I'll carry the water, and you carry the stove, and you carry the screwdriver, you carry the wrenches, I'll carry the Allen set. And I'm thinking, it's just me. I need a little bit more room than that. So I went with the Reckless 80, which, looking at it, I don't regret it. But I can see it's not going to fit as nice as the 40 would have fit on a dirt bike, right? This is a little bit big. It's too wide up here. It'd be nice if Mosko could make that part maybe a little adjustable, like make it second set of holes. Am I being too picky now? Am I being a whiny bitch? I don't want to be that guy. All right, these guys get snugged down. Like so, and then there's one for the back side, right here. One that comes up over the top, like so. Right, that's pretty secure. Over the top, back side, that's pretty tight already. That pulls it together here. This wraps all the way around up underneath. So if you don't have anything in there, you can snug it up and make it smaller. So that's what it looks like on your 450L. There's some challenges in getting those bottom straps to pull in the right direction. You can kind of see right there, a little bit of a tunnel going on. Right, and since it's a dirt bike, right, the exhaust side sticks out way further than the non-exhaust side. Although you got to hand it to Honda, right? Mosko gives you a heat shield, but the CRF450L comes with its own. So there's an extra piece you can save for later, for when you trade in your stock can for a Yoshimura or an FMF or whatever your favorite brand is. That's another video for another time. Alright, so that's what it looks like.